I gotta say, and I say this all the time, I can't do horror films like yours, but the way people are talking about it, I'm at least curious that I think, do I have to like see if I can actually sit through it?
Charles is horror curious.
Yes, I'm horror curious.
Here's the thing that always surprises me. It's when people, they say, what's wrong with this movie? Who would go see this when they're seeing a part 3? I highly recommend you see 1 and 2 before you get into this one. We don't pretend we're anything that we're not. You'll know exactly what you're in store for, especially with part 3. The opening 10 minutes might be the most disturbing thing we've ever done in this franchise. So we're definitely letting you know what you're in store for right away.
I remember back in The Exorcist days, I think it was 74, where they marketed it based on people passing out, people, I think somebody actually had a heart attack watching it. And it was successful that way. And I haven't seen that a lot until your film. So you are embracing the gore here, and it seems to be working.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the one thing I'm very proud of is that this is genuine. This is organic. It's not a marketing ploy with people passing out and fainting. These are actual accounts. And it started with Terrifier 2, sort of during COVID. It's when movie theaters just started getting going again. And people started fainting and passing out in the theaters. And there's one tweet in particular at the time really took off on Twitter of somebody passed out in the lobby with paramedics coming in and the Terrifier 2 poster over their shoulder in the lobby. And that was just, we were off to the races from that moment on. But we really do push the gore with these films because we're an unrated film. And it was something I wanted to do with the first Terrifier because it was only a $35,000 movie. And I was a special makeup effects artist. So I knew I had to put things in my film that Hollywood couldn't really put in their films. And it would hopefully get people talking. So that's been our formula ever since, and we're always pushing the boundaries.
I'm just wondering, these conservative studios that are struggling right now, I'm wondering, do you think you're going to be that seismic change where all of a sudden they're saying, we just got to go all in for this? I mean, could this change movies, especially horror movies?
Yeah, I really think it can. I think it's going to. I think you're going to see this now renaissance of slasher films that are extraordinarily gory. I won't mention names, but I've had now peers and my contemporaries, people I look up to who make these types of films, have reached out to me and they're thanking me and they're saying, oh, you've given us so much ammunition now to go back to the studio. So because they're always restricted and they would be a lot more graphic if they could. So I think you're going to see this boom of really graphic horror films, which means now I really have to step up my game going forward.
When you do these scenes, like the gory scenes, like in the Terrifier, does it ever affect you afterwards, like once you're done filming?
Not in the way I think you're asking. I would say that like when I'm doing it, it's super technical, and maybe I dissociate a little bit, where I'm doing it and it's like super technical. I'm picking up a head, I'm moving it around, and I'm not really like thinking about what I'm doing. But then when I'm in the theater, the joke is that like I've never really seen a full Terrifier film because I'm always covering my eyes.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've literally like seen. I think like I've seen the Terrifier 3 like 4 times, and I've pieced together scenes in my mind for little snippets that I get every time I watch it. But yeah, I'm a little bitch. I can't.
You know, a lot of people talk about how gory the film was, so much so that some people had to get up and leave the theater. I want to know, what do you say about that? Like, what do you say to people who can't sit through the whole film? You said even you yourself have to cover your eyes at some parts.
I think that's fair. I feel like Terrifier is a polarizing film, and it's definitely something that is not for everyone. But I mad respect that they're brave. I would be like really embarrassed to kind of get up in the middle of the theater to leave, but I'm like mad respect because those scenes are so intense that like I'll sit there painfully and like cover my eyes. But yeah, I feel like if I wasn't a part of Terrifier, I probably might have been that person who got up and walked out. But Damien would love that. I think he would. I think Damien and the rest of us really love when people walk out because that means we're pushing it pretty far.
Do you think that people should, commit to watching it and staying through, because they kind of sign themselves up for it, so they should, stay committed to seeing the film all the way through?
Oh, no. I feel like to each their own, and also, like I said, it's not for everyone. I've grown to love it because I appreciate like the special effects and the prosthetics, but it looks real. It's like really it's really intense
I
and
definitely
violent.
had to turn my head a couple of times.
I have literally friends who are like, I'll watch it. I'm like, you don't need to watch it.
So the film has been a huge success. It's been out for over a month now, and it's still doing very well. What has that reception been like for you? Especially for it being the third one in the franchise.
It's wild. It's been a decade. I'm gonna date myself, but I don't think I ever thought, and a lot of us never thought it would get this big, and it's amazing and it's exciting, and I'm so happy for Damien and everyone. But it still hasn't like hit, but I think it's because we're in the midst of it all. But then I say this, I don't ever really want it to hit, so yeah.
And that brings me to the next point.
Oh, yeah.
Terrifier 4. What would you like to see in the next Terrifier?
I want the ultimate showdown of Sienna and Art the Clown. I'm excited to see where Damien ends it.
This could be like the new Halloween type of classic, every year.
I think it is.
Halloween, a new Terrifier comes out. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So there is a fourth one in the works?
Yeah, well, Damien confirmed that. There might be more. He said 4, but there might be more. But no, I'm excited. It's going to be insanity because the third one was insanity.